weekly AMA. I am Book Nerd. We are checking real quick to make sure that this is streaming out to YouTube, Facebook, multiple Twitter accounts, multiple Twitch streams. If you are watching from Twitch, from YouTube, from Facebook, you can post a question directly to that feed and it will come back here into the group. So we'll be able to answer that for you. Now, before we get started with some introductions, let me give you our little disclaimer. Nothing that we're going to talk about today is to be considered financial advice, legal advice, or accounting advice. Please consult your attorney, your CPA, or your financial planner before making any decisions. We're just going to have a general conversation about a project that I'm a really big fan of. Give them an opportunity to make their case to you, the audience. And if you think that this is something that would be valuable to you, you could ask Suit why he doesn't have a suit on and why he didn't shave today. Must have been a long night. You hear me? No? Jordan? Okay. With that, we're going to kick off. Today, we're going to be talking with the team from Monkey Kingdom. They've got so much going on. A lot of times, I like to give a little preface about the project and what I like. I'm going to let them jump in a second. But as a point of disclosure, I own 11 Wukongs. I own 11 Bapes. So I own a total of 22 of these NFTs. I'm a huge fan of them. I'm a huge fan of their culture aspect. And some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today is going to be pretty amazing when you look at what they've got going on. So, Awkward Dolls and Little Wukong, I'm going to turn it over to you. And first off, I want to ask you, tell the audience about Monkey Kingdom.
All right, thank you. If I'll go first. Monkey Kingdom is what we think is Asia's first blue chip NFT project that's centered on the culture and the diverse cultures behind Asia, which was lacking, we felt, when we first started this project. And it just grew from there. And now it's, I think it's fair to say we're quite the international project now, but at our roots, we are a project that is very Asian culture driven. And one of our core aims is to bridge that divide between the West and the East.
Instead of myself, hey, now you can hear me. When I think of your guys' project, I mean, that was a good macro description. Well, you have so much going on from a partnership perspective, from macro community engagement. Like right now, you've got something really big going on this week. You want to tell everybody about what's going on with Sotheby's?
We do. We're really excited. We're actually on Sotheby's Contemporary Art auction. So it'll be from March 8th to March 15th. And we have two of our NFTs on auction. So one is the Monkey Kingdom number 1325, which is wearing a very significant piece of headwear called the Guapi Mao, which is a type of headwear that originated during the Han Dynasty, and our very own one-of-one Mulan Diamond Bape NFT. So yeah, like you said, we're really excited about that. We feel like it's a huge step. It's Sotheby's. So I don't really need to say more about that, but that is what's going on this week.
And it's funny that you said this week, because that kind of like sets the tone for there's got to be a lot more coming. One of the things that we've seen in the community, okay, I want to say it's not, I don't have a fucking mouse in my pocket. One of the things that I've seen is there's a lot of talk about the Peach token, and it's your economic token for a lot of different things. Can you tell us a little bit about the Peach token and why it's important to your project and to those that are involved in it?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, actually. Basically, Peach will be our standard ERC20 token on Ethereum, and it will be our native utility token used in our ecosystem. So when we first started this project, I think it's fair to say no one really saw exactly where we'd be going in such a short span of time. And now we're here. We want to build a proper ecosystem, a community, and Peach is going to be, crucial So everything we do in this new ecosystem, you'll collect it, trade it, and to grow your NFT asset using Peach.
For those of you that were on the alpha call, I'm sorry, the coffee with the nerd call before this, the alpha calls after this, you heard me talking a lot about my investment thesis, and I'm constantly reiterating that to those that are watching the trainings and the AMAs and things that we do, is that I want to be involved in projects that are more than just a PFP. I want to look for an economic engine. I want to look for viable tokenomics. I want to look at engagement in the broader macro environment from a community perspective, from a scalability perspective. So when you look at an NFT project that has cultural significance, that is working with the largest auction houses in the world, is building a breeding mechanism, is building a token mechanism, and is building a couple other future things that I'm not quite sure if I'm supposed to talk about yet. It's something that's worth looking at.
Thank you.
And that leads into this. Like, I don't know what I can and can't say about breeding. I know a couple things that we've discussed, but do you want to talk about how breeding is going to work and what some of the interesting things are that you guys are doing, both in the promotion of it, but then also eventually in the implementation of it?
Yeah, so actually, one of the utilities of the Peach token is that you can actually use the Peach token to claim the Gen 3, like the third generation of the NFTs that when you breed the first generation and the second generation, there will be the Gen 3, right? So some part of the Gen 3s are also available to be claimed with the Peach token. So that's one of the utilities of the Peach token. So then we also have some interesting events going on our Discord with the breeding. For example, if because for breeding you require one Gen 1, which is the male Wukong, and also a Gen 2, which is a female monkey that's called Diamond Bait, and you need them, and also a Peach to breed. And some of our holders only have like a single monkey, so they don't have two of them. So we have this event called Too Hot to Handle on Discord, and basically you can find a match during the show, and it's also for community engagement, and it's a place for people to get to know each other, and you can actually match with somebody's monkey and to be able to breed with your partner and to get the Gen 3 NFT. So I think this is one of the interesting marketing or community campaigns that we've done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch the conversations that go on in Discord around this and the way that you guys are presenting this. I just dropped a link to a post on my Twitter account, which is the live feed of this call. Why did I do that? We are going to be giving away 5 whitelist spots to Monkey Kingdom Gen 3. And I'm going to ask a couple questions about this in just a second. To those that retweet our live stream. Now, it's got to be the one that's on my account, which is booknerd_ath. And it's the live stream. If you retweet that, we're going to run a bot drawing here at the end of the call, and we're going to pick 5 people to get Gen 3 whitelist. So the question that I put back to you then is, if there's a limited amount of Gen 1, a limited amount of Gen 2, why is there whitelist for Gen 3?
Oh, it's because that we are going to have whitelist mint for Gen 3. So basically the some of the Gen 3 is going to be open to public. So we want to expand our community. And that's why we have actually more than 4,442 Gen 3s. So we have, we have more than that for the supply of Gen 3. So that is why we are opening whitelist for more people who are interested in Monkey Kingdom to participate in this project.
Now, I have seen some of the artwork for Gen 3. Are you able to talk about any of the unique elements of that artwork yet?
Mm, I'm not sure if we are
Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I have to do a lot of this as questions. I know some projects I get on and I just start talking, but I know you guys have got so much going on. I want to make sure that we're
it's
properly
going
taking
to be revealed very soon, like most likely in mid-March, I guess. So stay tuned and follow our socials. Stay active on Discord, and we'll be revealing very soon.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Let me just say that they're pretty sick. Like you're gonna want to take a look at these. They're pretty awesome. I mentioned before the cultural element of this. There's also a big fashion element to your project. You guys have partnered with some major fashion lines and have done some big things in the fashion industry. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the people you've worked with, some of the things you've got going on now, some of the future plans around fashion, and why that's so important?
I think one of them, the main one that springs out straight away would be verbal ambush. And you said speak a little bit about his significance. Well, he in Asia, he's like one of the OGs. He really brought up the street fashion scene about I'd say just under 2 decades ago. He started out, and he really brought street fashion to a culture that really wasn't into it at that point in time. I mean, comparatively with the West. So when we were starting this out, he's like an OG to us. And when an opportunity to work with him, that kind of felt like things were coming full circle. As to why we want to go into fashion, we don't want to just be a profile, a PFP NFT. We want to be in everything as much as we can, and that's what we've done so far. We're just constantly trying to grow and trying to expand into different areas. But in terms of fashion, it's such an integral part of not just our physical lifestyles now, but our virtual lifestyles. I think, especially with COVID, we've all been kind of stuck at home more than we'd like to be. A lot more of what we do has gone to the virtual space, and fashion, how we represent ourselves, how we choose to dress up our avatars, which NFTs we choose to put as our profile pictures. That all kind of links back to fashion. So that's why we're really into doing more collabs with big artists, big fashion houses, big artists, and yeah, I'd say that's why it's very important to us.
No, I love that. Now, you guys had some stuff going on with Milan Fashion Week a couple weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Can you talk what was that? Like, I don't talk to a lot of NFT projects that are like, hey, we were doing some stuff at Milan Fashion Week. Like, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, thank you. That was our virtual show with Verbal Ambush. Actually, it took place. It was streamed live for the community, and yeah, just like what I said, we were trying to push new boundaries in what we can do. Like, I think 2 years ago, no one would have really thought, like, why is a Discord community attending a fashion show in Milan? That would probably sound quite left field if you ask me. But that's where we're trying to, what direction we're trying to go in. We're trying to bring together all these different communities and these different industries. And yeah, it's an exciting process, especially to get to work with really famous artists. It really is eye-opening.
And speaking of famous artists, you had was it a Christmas party this year with a pretty epic DJ? Who was that? Like, what's his involvement in all of this?
Yes, we did have a great Christmas party. Thanks for asking. With Steve Aoki, Steve Aoki, the legend himself, and he was actually, he caught on to Monkey Kingdom really early on, just a few months after we launched the project, and we had a Christmas party. Pardon me. We had a Christmas party in CryptoVox's the Metaverse, and he came and he officiated the whole thing, along with Dizzy Dizzo, another big artist from Taiwan. So yeah, that was he was very early involved in the project, and it was great for our community to see very early on that we were serious about making this an international brand, an international name.
Now, is anyone from your team going to be at NFT LA here in a few weeks?
I don't think so.
Okay,
But,
I just thought I would ask because I saw that like Steve Aoki is going to be there, and we've just moved our event, excuse me, to May, which I probably should announce on the last call, so that our team can go to NFTLA, which we're pretty excited about attending with the audience that's going to be there.
Yeah. Wait till the COVID situation gets better. Otherwise, traveling is pretty difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple places that I wanted to go to the New Year's Eve party in Taipei with IVC and everybody. And by the time I looked at tickets, they're like, yeah, once you get there, you've got to quarantine for 2 weeks. Like, it's going to make it kind of hard to go to a party on New Year's Eve.
yeah.
Someone asked, did Steve Aoki cake anyone?
We did have an animation of Steve Aoki throwing a cake to the crowd. It's on our Instagram.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. So there, you can go to Instagram, grab that.
Yeah, you can take a look at the animation. It's pretty cute.
Now, this is interesting. You guys are doing something special for the auction this week. You guys are running Sweep Week. What is Sweep Week, and what does it mean to anybody that's watching this right now? Like, how can they make money or profits from participating in Sweep Week?
Oh, so we are actually giving out 3 golden peaches to whoever try to whoever purchased a Wukong during this Sotheby's Sweep Week. Like during this week, if you buy a Wukong that is our Gen 1 NFTs on Magic Eden or Elva Art, you will enter this raffle, and we'll pick 3 lucky winners, and we'll drop them the golden peaches. These golden peaches are very special peaches because they will give you a glowing effect in your Gen 3.
Ooh, I want to glow.
And also, we're also giving out 20 whitelist spots for Gen 3 on our Discord during this week. And if our NFTs bid price reached 100 Solana, then we'll open up another 10 whitelist spots.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to bid on Sotheby's, but somebody really wants the male one. Like every time I bid, like, you've been outbid. You've been outbid. We are giving away 5 whitelist spots. And ever since I announced that, our live stream on Twitter has doubled in the number of retweets. So if you haven't yet gone and retweeted our live stream on the Book Nerd Twitter account, now would be your time to do it. Also, for those alpha sharks that are on this call, we will also be dropping 5 whitelist spots in our alpha for whale shark holders to get involved in this project. I'm pretty excited that you guys are able to extend that offer to our alpha community. There's just so much exciting stuff going on. So I want to, there's a balancing act here. I know some of what you guys have coming from our conversations. I have no idea what I can and can't say. So I kind of wanted to close out. Now, if anybody has any questions, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, you can go ahead and ask them there. If you're on my Twitter feed, you can ask them there. Even though it won't feed over, I can grab them. What's next for Monkey Kingdom? I see people asking, when can we have land? What's the name for Gen 3? Like, there's just tons of questions coming in. What can you answer? What can you tell us?
Well, the next stop is the moon, I guess. But no, we have a lot more. We have a lot more planned, and I know that's kind of a cliche answer. You know, it's always like you want to know details. But after the Sotheby's, we're gonna have lots more collabs. And for example, with Ambush will be one. This is to expand on what we were talking about earlier, and to make it more fashion oriented. And then it's all steam ahead towards breeding, and pardon me. And with the peaches, there's also going to be other features for the breeding that I'm not too sure I can say. Awkward Alice, how much can I say here?
I can hint that we are joining forces with ambush and going into the metaverse. But I can't say too much about what the metaverse is going to be. But it's so there's going to be quite a lot of collaborations between Ambush and Monkey Kingdom, and also some other big brands. It's going to be online and offline as well.
I like it. I'm not gonna push too much. I am
We're
going
trying to keep it tight-lipped right now, but more news is coming. Trust
I'm
us.
always trying to pull more out of people, even when they don't want me to.
That's
I'm
your
going to
job.
say this: if you have a Monkey Kingdom profile picture on Twitter, make sure to comment on this live stream so that when it's over, I can go back and follow you. If you want to return the favor, great. If not, no big deal. And also, if you are a diamond bape holder and you're looking for someone to breed with, go ahead and post a picture on Twitter and tag me. I've got 11 male Wukons looking for friends, and I'd like to participate
Awesome.
in this breeding process.
It's the season of love.
It's the season of love. That's awesome. Do you guys have any final thoughts or anything? I can see somebody asked the question, what's the difference between Monkey Kingdom and Diamond Bapes? Then someone else answered, that's the male and that's the female. I don't have one yet. Planning to grab some. Gen 3. I love the community. Do you have the question comes up, do you have a Monkey Kingdom game? That's just an audience question. How do you guys want to answer that?
We don't have it yet, but we might in the future.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
We're keeping all avenues open. I know how easy it is for us to say that, but genuinely, I think our track record speaks for itself. We're trying to develop in all sorts of directions, and unfortunately, right now we can't say too much. But there will be more news coming all the time. Stay tuned on our Discord, our social channels, and we're always pumping out information.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to throw you one curveball question to end. There are 3 things that I personally look for when I'm investing. And I know for a fact that you guys have at least 2 of these 3. So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot with the third one. So the first thing that I look for is a project with a proven track record that's going out and working. So you guys are putting together all of these collaborations. You guys have implemented a lot of successful elements, and it's not about the roadmap that's documented. It's the roadmap that I see transpiring in front of me. The second is an amazing engaged community. Every time I post on Twitter about something relating to Monkey Kingdom, I know that I'm going to get a bunch of likes, a bunch of comments. In the Discord's on fire. That's great. The third thing that we look for is a well-funded project that has allocation set aside to support their team and their marketing initiatives going forward. Can you tell me a little bit about how you guys are capitalized? If we were to have a prolonged crypto winter, how would you guys survive?
So I think we have quite a lot of things coming up in the future, and because I am not sure if we are allowed to say that now, but it's in our plan, and it's going to be announced in, I think, about 2 weeks.
Okay. Again, I threw a question out there. I know that there's a lot going on. I highly recommend everyone that is not bought in to take advantage of breeding in the Peach token and the collaborations in the amazing community. Now is a good time to do it. As the Sotheby auction continues to grow, the more that those monkeys sell for, the more attention this project's going to get. It's sweep week. Now's a good time to get in, get one, take advantage of all of the offers on sweep week, and then join this amazing community. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to drop from your end?
Join us, please. Whoever's listening and hasn't got themselves a Monkey Kingdom NFT, come to Discord. You're gonna have a whale of a time, and we want to thank everyone for your support as well, as always.
Awesome. So the results team, if we can do the drawing for the retweet bot on Twitter and then post those right away, that would be great. And then let's also get the drop into the Whale Sharks group so that we can get our people involved. And let's get that information over to the Monkey Kingdom team right away. I appreciate everyone that joined this call. For Whale Shark owners, we will be going to the alpha call in about 30 minutes, and I will see you over on Zoom. I appreciate everyone. Have a great day.